We are back. Westworld Season 4 on HBO Max. Is Dolores still alive? Are they building a new Westworld theme park? We're going to talk about it here. Spoiler warning now. Welcome back to AsArt. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be doing a breakdown of Westworld Season 4. We like HBO Max here. We're big fans of Raised by Wolves. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend you check it out. And other shows on the platform too. We cover The Boys and a lot of other fun stuff. But I'm just a guy that's going to do my best to break down the show. Okay, so let's just jump into it. First things first, is Dolores still alive? Last I remember, I thought she was dead under the big ball thing. And at the end of the show, if you guys watch at the end, they do a recap. There's a cool VFX thing on flies, which I'm going to talk about. But in the recap, the writers and the producers and stuff were like, yes, Dolores is dead. So I'm like, is she dead? Because I thought Dolores was in Charlotte. If you go back to Westworld Season 3, you'll be like, oh yeah, Charlotte. That's right, Charlotte. But so it's like, I don't know if Dolores is dead. And they're saying this is like a human Dolores. So if this is this the original Dolores who the Dolores character was molded after, because she's a game designer and maybe she worked for the company at one point, but I don't know. A lot of questions to be asked because it looks like humans are in a simulation, because we see the use of flies and how flies can control people and all that fun stuff like that. But when Dolores, not Dolores, Charlotte, no, not Charlotte, Christine. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so confused here. When new Dolores, I'm going to call her new Dolores, is walking through, to work, you hear like a group of guys, like they're like on a part, like, yeah, you haven't been here before. This place is awesome. And it just gave me total flashbacks to Westworld Season 1, like just random guys that are aware that there's a simulation going on, and the players that are writing the scripts don't know. But basically, we're getting a new version of Westworld where it's like humans are the robots and it's not robots. So this is very interesting. And it also looks like evil Dolores, who's Charlotte, or using Charlotte's body, is using a Man in Black clone to buy up land to build another Westworld. So it's going very interesting. It has my attention right now, because at first I was really skeptical. I was not really excited for Season 4 at first, but this is giving me a little bit of hope. We'll see where it goes from here and stuff like that. But my favorite part about Westworld was being in Westworld. I thought Season 1 was one of the strongest seasons of television. And I love Season 1, and so does the co-host who isn't here, John. He loves Season 1 so much too. And I felt like Season 2 and then Season 3 just kind of was like going downhill. And I feel like this gives us a chance to go back into the park and stuff like that. The other character we got to talk about is Maya. So Maya is in Big Bear. That's where they filmed. That's where the filming location was. She's in Big Bear. Just kind of, I guess, hiding from the world. Being, waiting for the call to action, or she just knows she's being followed or something like, you can totally tell she's hiding from someone. And boom, she's called back into action because evil Dolores, who's Charlotte, is wanting her dead, and also Caleb. And I think that's where they're going with that storyline. But then it's like he's getting called back into action, which I don't know if I was a fan of. Like, do we have to bring this guy back? But it's all right. It's cool. We'll see where it goes from there. I'm just really bummed that there was no Bernard in this episode. He's one of my favorite characters. And there was no Charlotte. You kind of just know what's happening from what we know from Season 3 with Charlotte. The trailer for the next episode looks really exciting and cool. I'm super excited for the next episode. It seems like there's going to be some cool stuff happening, but there's a lot of interesting ideas here in this episode, which is getting me excited for Season 4. Is it going to be as good as Season 1? Probably not, because Season 1 was like the mind-blowing, like Matrix moment, like, whoa, it's so good. But I'm along for the ride. I'm very thankful we have decent television nowadays. Really high quality. Oh, high quality. Yes, we got to talk about the flies. At the end, there's a behind the scenes things with flies. And it's so funny because me and John do VFX reviews here too. And we like to talk about, we always try to do practical, but the best way to do VFX is like practical mixed with VFX. And it was so cool because they had fly wranglers, right? So they'll put flies in the scene, and then depending if they want to use the flies, they can keep them on, or they probably just roto them out and clean them out. But at least they have a reference for the flies when they put in the CG flies. And I thought that was so sick, and it's done so well. I know it's so simple a fly, and it's mostly motion blur with it moving around and stuff, but I thought that looked amazing. And also, I just want to say the opening was always as beautiful as the first time we saw it, but it was cool to see the new objects and seeing the fly. And then also it looks like a hive mind of people like trapped inside stuff. So really, really interested where they're going to go with this season. Let me know down below your theories and stuff. I have a couple theories. One, I think they're building a new park. Two, the other theory I think I talked about quite a bit is the humans are now in a park, and I think that's that Matt Haddon park that we're seeing. And then three is Teddy. Like, so is that the robot Teddy that we know, or is that also a human version of Teddy that we have a human version of Dolores now? So really interested in that. And then the last theory is the Man in Black still alive? We know his throat gets slit at the end of season 3, but I am very curious to see if he is still alive. And in the trailer, looks like they had him tied up in a thing, like he's still alive. Maybe just his head. It's like Futurama. They just saved his head, and the rest is like just a case of body. Or something where, this show actually, there was another reference to Futurama in the show too. Like, I think I probably mentioned it when we covered season 3, but the idea of, someone choosing your job for you, and then like, you that's your task and that's your story. And I know that's the thing in Futurama, right? Like, the computer says, Fry is a delivery boy, right? And then at the end of the episode, he gets to choose his own job, and he chooses to be a delivery boy for Planet Express. And I feel like that happened with Caleb in this story, right? Like, he gets a shot to be whoever he wants, and he chooses to be the same guy. Really quickly, before I forget, we got to talk about Peter. So it was very interesting that Peter is the wake-up call for the new Dolores. Christine, I believe is her name. For the new Dolores to wake up and get called onto this adventure. I know she's like the face of the whole Westworld show, so it's like you got to keep that actress in there. She's a great actress. Totally happy with keeping her on. Incredible. I just really hope the story plays out right. We'll see what's going to happen, but let me know down below your thoughts and your theories. I would love to hear them. And then subscribe, so I'm going to do my best to cover this show the day it releases and stuff. We'll see how it goes. And also other shows too. We're also covering The Boys, and we'll be covering His Dark Materials later on in the year. But yes, just subscribe to stay updated for all the fun stuff. We'll see you on the next AsArt.